Hello everyone, and welcome back to our guided reflection series based on the 6 Stages Framework Reflective Journal. Noticing the unseen, how awareness opens the door to inclusion. I'm Dr. Shungu M'gadzah, and I'm so glad you're joining me today for episode 2 of the Reflective Journal, where we focus on reflective step 1, noticing the unseen. So before we dive in to today's reflection, let's take a moment to revisit where we left off. In episode 1, we introduced step 0, locating yourself on the 6 Stages Framework. That step was about self-awareness, pausing to recognize where you are on your diversity, equity, and inclusion and belonging journey without judgment. Now we move into active reflection. This guided reflective journal and this series is here to support your daily DEIB practice, no matter your role, background, or experience. Let's have a look at the reflective steps. Step 0 is where you locate yourself on the 6 Stages Framework. If you're not familiar with the 6 Stages Framework, you can download this from our website, www.6stagesframework.com. So before we dive into today's reflection, let's quickly revisit the structure of the reflective steps. These are the 7 steps we're using throughout this series, and they're designed to support your daily practice of diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. We start with step 0, locating yourself on the 6 Stages Framework. That's your personal baseline, where you are. Then each week, we explore one of these reflective lenses, like noticing the unseen or acting with purpose. And these steps are not fixed stages. They're practical, repeatable mindsets you can use at any point in your journey. So wherever you are on the 6 Stages Framework, these steps help you to grow in your journey. So, what are the 6 stages? Here are the 6 stages at a glance. They go from unaware at stage +1, and they're basically on the positive axis on this slide here. So these stages represent how individuals typically move through a journey of understanding and action in equity and inclusion work. From being unaware of issues to becoming aware but not yet acting, to seeking, engaging, advocating, and ultimately leading and modeling change. Each stage is important. There's no shame in where you are. There's no judgment here. It's all about learning, personal development. Just like you would, if you were getting a personal fitness trainer. You are where you are in terms of your starting point. The aim is to improve and to grow in your journey. So there's no shame in where you are, only opportunity to keep growing. So this next slide simply reinforces, the next 3 slides, in fact, simply reinforce the visual identity of the 6 Stages Framework. You'll see this model throughout the journal and across our website and all of our work together. It serves as a mirror, helping you name where you are now, and as a compass, guiding your next steps forward. The reflective steps we're using in this series are tools to help you progress from wherever you start, whatever your starting point. You don't need to jump ahead, or you don't need to be at the same stage as someone else. You just need to reflect consistently with intention, with the desire to get better at your understanding of diversity, equity, and inclusion and belonging. It's your ability to foster equity and inclusion. So this other stage also just shows the 6 stages framework in a different way. So here it shows the stages on the positive axis and on the negative axis. So when you zoom in, you'll be able to see that in much more detail. And then here again, it's a different representation, just to give you a sense of how different associates within the 6 stages framework are using it to really kind of reinforce the message of what the stages are and how you can grow in your journey. So what is reflective step 1? So reflective step 1 is noticing the unseen. And that's really the step we're going to be using this week. It invites us to notice what we've been missing in ourselves and in our surroundings and in the systems, critically in the systems that we're part of. This step resonates especially with people who are in stages 1 or 2 of the 6 stages framework, i.e. those people who show up as being unaware or aware but unengaged, unaware but unengaged around issues of difference. But the truth is, we all have blind spots. This step helps everyone, right? It helps anyone at any level slow down and observe with attention. The strategy from this journal is simple but powerful. Start noticing what you don't know. Observe your environment with curiosity. So let's reflect on this question together. What identities or perspectives do I rarely hear from and why? Am I stuck with people who just look like me? Do I not get to meet people who are different from myself? Take a moment to sit with that. This isn't about blame or guilt. It's about expanding our awareness and deepening our understanding. In your reflective journal, you can jot down your response, or you can just hold it gently in your thoughts today. So what does noticing the unseen actually look like in everyday life? It could mean realizing that most of the books you read are written by people from similar backgrounds to yourself. Or noticing whose voices are most prominent in meetings, who gets the space and the time to speak, and who is censored and stopped from speaking. Whose comments get noted down on the reflective board when you're all having a meeting and contributing, and whose comments get left out. Or it's also about reflecting on your automatic assumptions about age, maybe, disability, neurodiversity, or gender roles. It's about all those small moments when we catch ourselves thinking, I've never thought about that before. That moment, that's your gateway to change. Seeing different perspectives and thinking about things in different ways. Now, I would love to hear from you in the comments below or in your own journal. Ask yourself this. Who are the 3 people, communities or voices I've never learned from? Which voices do I shut out? And those 3 voices I've never learned from but want to learn from, which voices are they? Can I think of a moment recently when I realized I had a blind spot? Or was this something that someone else pointed out to you, which made you recognize your blind spot? If you're watching live, feel free to comment or share your thoughts. You might also run a quick poll where you can ask, where do you notice the biggest gaps in your awareness? Remember, this is all about learning. It's a learning journey. Just like we may engage in other forms of personal development, like fitness trainers or, physiotherapists when we need support, or dietitians when we need support in terms of helping us think about what we're eating and ingesting. This is all about developing in your journey, in your personal awareness around your ability to deal with differences, your understanding and ability to deal with issues around diversity, equity and inclusion, and belonging. So this week, here's your invitation to take action. Here are some simple but meaningful steps. Follow 3 voices from underrepresented or marginalized groups. Or maybe watch a documentary or a TED Talk or read a blog by someone with a different lived experience. And journal what you did not notice. What shifted? What surprised you? What did you enjoy in being exposed to these different voices? Remember, awareness isn't passive. It's something we build through consistent practice. So, on to our closing comments. So here's our key message for today. Step 1 is about building your noticing muscle. Just like you may work on your biceps or on your quads. We're working on our diversity, equity and inclusion noticing muscle. It's not always comfortable doing this work. But having said that, if you're in the gym and you're working out, that may not always be comfortable. But it is truly transformative. And each step you take, each lifting you do in flexing that muscle helps you reach a different goal. It's truly transformative. So when we start to truly see the people experiences and stories that have been missing from our world, that's when inclusion becomes real. That's where the magic happens. That's where the change happens. That's where we stop being bystanders and we become allies, and we're able to speak up and advocate for change. So thank you so much for joining me today. Next week, we take it further with reflective step 2, turning awareness into intention. We'll explore how we move from noticing to doing, from curiosity to commitment. If you haven't already downloaded the reflective journal, go ahead and do it now. Visit my website, www.sixstagesframework.com, and grab your copy. You may need to sign up and put in your details, but it is free to sign up and to obtain the reflective journal. I look forward to seeing you again next week, and it's likely to be on Monday, so that means that this week you've had less time, but I'm hoping for us to meet regularly and consistently on Mondays. Thank you for your time.